We believe that whatever your primary reason is for being here, we want to make sure that you learn and get answers to your questions and have enough information to pass on to somebody else that you might care about. So for the record, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's my privilege to be your host and moderator for the evening. Jeff Ashby is my co-host, and we're looking forward to hearing from Jeff a little bit as our discussion progresses as well. But you know what? We primarily want to hear from you. We really want to hear your stories. We're happy to tell you about how Microdaily, the product that is manufactured by Engage Global, works. We're happy to tell you about how Collagen Daily is working and all the other products, in the Brain Boost and the Eye Boost. We're happy to tell you how they work. But we have a story that we'd like to share with you to begin with. So Jeff is, this is a recent story that took place. So Jeff, do you want to set that up for us and give us an idea as to how this goes? And before Jeff does that, I mean, we'll pull Jeff on the screen here. He'll pull himself on the screen in a second. Just keep in mind, folks, that the information we present on meetings like this is for educational purposes only. Information, educational purposes only. Nothing here is intended to be a substitute for treatment, a visit to your primary healthcare physician. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. So we're not making any claims that anything that we're talking about here tonight is a treatment or cure for a disease, but we are telling you how and why proper nutrition can make a difference in your life, in your body, and in the life and body of someone that you care about and love. So let's talk about this story, Jeff. Give us the name and some of the background of this individual and anything else that you'd like to add on with us, please.
Well, absolutely, Jonathan, and it's such a joy, a pleasure actually of mine to be in this capacity multiple times throughout each day. We do a lunch and learn for one of the other teams, and this just happened to be the discussion that was going on this last Thursday. It was just a lunch and learn, noon on the East Coast, and we get together for about a half hour or so. And this lady was brought on by Dr. Percola Roberts and a friend of hers. She had just experienced the Microdaily, so we're talking 3 days worth of experience. She felt confident and comfortable enough to come on and share her story during a lunch and learn. She has since been on a couple of other calls that we've had, but this was just the first time that I got a chance to meet her. Her name is Janice Williamson, I believe. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Engage Global does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. Engage Global's products do, however, address our deficiencies and provide our bodies with the nutrition that we are lacking. And so I needed to bring it on the screen because this next testimonial, when she starts talking about things that are going on in her body, we definitely have to have this secured as far as taking care of us legally.
I was introduced to the Microdaily just 3 days ago. I have a condition that's called chronic lymphedema. It stemmed from when I was 9 years old. I had a hairline fracture and it was misdiagnosed and mistreated. And I was an avid athlete in high school, had recurring injuries, and I was bitten by a spider when I was 16. Anyway, the limb used to swell and go down, swell and go down. Throughout the years, it turned into chronic lymphedema. I took the Microdaily 3 days ago. I just took one tablet that afternoon. And while we were on the phone, generally, I do not sweat. And when my metabolism is awakened, it's just like someone's turned the faucet on and it's nonstop. So while we were on the phone, Sister Paulette said, something wrong with her. What's going on? You know, what have you? The palms of my hands began to sweat and the soles of my feet began to sweat like they used to when I was younger. And anyway, I was able to, without with the chronic lymphedema, I was able to stand straight up and walk across the room without being bent over. And yesterday, as Dr. Piccola was on the line with us, I told her I was standing on the chronic lymphedema side on the left foot with my right foot leg extended out behind me, up and down. I could lift it and without recourse. And I was able to move it around, standing on one foot, barely holding on to the countertop. So this morning, I was able to get in the bed. Generally, when I get in the bed, I toss and turn half of the night. I can't tell you when I went to sleep. I know I laid down about 2:30 this morning because I had some work to do. But anyway, I laid down about 2:30 this morning. When I woke up, it was 7:30. Light was still on the table. I was face down or what have you, knocked out and everything. So when I was able, I got up this morning to begin to take the micro daily because I've been taking it twice a day. Today was the first time of taking it early in the morning. So I took it at 8:23 this morning. I feel absolutely fabulous. I'm able to lift my hands, to wave them and everything, something that I hadn't been able to do in years, let alone weeks. And I'm grateful for the, I'm trying to be I'm trying to keep it together. But nevertheless, like I said yesterday to Dr. Piccola as well as Ms. Brenda and Mr. Paulette while we were online, that people used to talk about me and my testimony and everything, but take a look at me now. But wait and see what the end result is going to be.
Now, let me ask you one question. Oh, girl, you got me over here.
So I'm just going to kind of cut it off right there. Pretty amazing experiences. 3 days into this. And Jonathan, she was only taking one capsule in the morning and one capsule at night. We sense, after this conversation, we went in and says, please do 3 and 3. With as much as going on in your body, it needs the support. It needs the nutritional difference, because that's truly all the microdaily has done is just go in and with one pill, it has begun to correct a micronutrient deficiency. And if I were to let the video play out, she tells you how much just water weight loss that she is up to after 3 days. But we'll have to invite everybody out to these lunch and learns, and you get incredible things like this, like on your calls, Jonathan. I just love the direction that the Engage Global is going, and this opportunity to get together in multiple times throughout the week to just learn about these things. I said, as I started out tonight, I'm just grateful to be here and be a support to this microdaily family.
That's absolutely unbelievable, Jeff, and so exciting to hear. Thank you very much for sharing that story. Try to wrap your mind around that, folks. Are you familiar with what lymphedema is? Your lymphatic system runs parallel to your circulatory system. I'm just going to give a tiny little bit of an overview. I do not know the deep dive science of it, but your lymphatic system runs parallel to your circulatory system. Everywhere you got blood vessels, you got lymphatic vessels. And what can happen is the lymphatic system, if it gets clogged up, if it gets blocked, there's a backup and fluid can begin to be retained in that particular area, any part of the body. So she was having a serious problem with lymphedema, and it can kill you. Because if your sewer system isn't working, which that is, it's almost like a sewer system, it's open. So things go in it and come out. Unlike the circulatory system, which is closed. The lymphatic system, things go in, things come out. If it gets backed up, you got a serious problem. And microdaily, that's all she was taking, was one capsule of microdaily twice a day. And she regained an enormous amount of mobility that she had lost, changed her life. That's huge. Now you need to ask yourself why. How is it possible that what could do this? Certainly, we're not making any claims because there's no such thing as a treatment or cure for disease, and only the United States government can declare something as a treatment or cure for disease. That's it. Only the United States government can do that. But look at the cover of this brochure. And if you don't have a copy of this brochure, whoever sponsored you or whoever invited you to this presentation, they can give you a copy of this brochure. So it's not something that's secret. It's not something that's special, that only presenters like me or Jeff has access to. Everybody has access to this. And you can show this to anybody. In fact, we encourage you to show this to anybody. Because go back again, daily nutrition to live your best life. Doesn't say anything about curing or treating a disease. But on the bottom of it, you see it says the world's most scientifically validated micronutrient supplements. And that's a true statement. My background goes back more than 30 years in the health and wellness industry. I'm not a doctor. I'm a wellness coach, but I am more a researcher. I'm the research director for the Healthcare Support Association of America. So I just do research. That's what I do. My goal is to just find information that few people have access to, and most of us don't have access to it, and present it. This is something now that we all have access to. We need to get the word out about this. At one time, only the military had access to this particular product. And what their goal was to provide a supplement that could keep soldiers on the battlefield and keep them in optimal health so that they could perform at the drop of a hat, at their best, at their peak performance. And that's what this product is. It was originally called Military Micronutrient Formula. There's a timeline as to when the Department of Defense asked Dr. Prasad for help, all the way down to the point where MicroDaily became approved. Veteran clinical trials were completed. And everything that happened in between, animal studies, human clinical trials. You know, the human clinical trials is what kind of will blow your mind, because that's what got my attention. What got my attention was when I saw that they found out that the individuals who were taking the product, not for diabetes, all saw improvement in their sugar levels and their A1C across the board. It was, oh, by the way, it also happens to have a huge impact on diabetes. Can you imagine that? They weren't looking for that. That's not what they were shooting for. Oh, by the way, it happens to have an impact on diabetes. It's because of this man right here. Dr. Kedar Prasad, brilliant scientist. He's not just your average run-of-the-mill nerd. He's a scientist of the highest degree. He was an invited member of the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee. That one of the categories there for medicine. That's the kind of brain power he is. He goes back with Linus Pauling. He said that's what kind of inspired him to start focusing in on nutrients. But as a little boy, when he was aware of the dropping of the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he said to himself that somebody really ought to think about coming up with something that would help people to heal after being exposed to that much radiation. So in 1963, he became the world's first radiation biology PhD, the first one in the world. Would take that level of mental power and apply that to helping the body to recover from exposure to radiation. And we're very fortunate to have what we have today. You add to that millions of dollars that were provided by Congress, the military, and NASA, and he produced a micronutrient that is comparable to none. I remember telling a client, she's had her own healthcare facility, some sort of a assisted living facility. And I let her see a bottle of MicroDaily. She says, oh, I'm taking all that. And she just handed it back. She said, that's just another multivitamin. And my question to her was, seriously? Seriously? $25 million worth of research, and you really think that that's a multivitamin that you could pick up at the store at CVS or Walgreens? And nothing would get through to her to help her to appreciate that. But it is anything but that. It has 7 US patents and many clinical studies. It is the most scientifically validated micronutrient in the world. On the left there, you see Dr. Prasad along with David Nemelka, the founder of Engaged Global. So it's because of those two that we have the product Micro Daily. It's been fast forwarded from the military, and now it's packaged this way. It's no longer in that brown, the beige package that could fit into a pocket of a military fatigue. Now it's in a green bottle like this, and there's other products also. People just call them, I need some more of those green pills, is what people will say about it. But that's what it looks like right there. The original formula now is in that green bottle. That's the original formula. And when we talk about any of the other formulas, every one of the other formulas has this original formulation in it. Nothing is left out. Nothing is omitted. All of the original formula is in the other bottles, the methylated bottle and the EMF bottle. But when you get to the methylated bottle, it's a step up. When you get to the EMF bottle, it's another step up. It's the one that, in my opinion, is the best one of them all, because it also offers 4 additional ingredients that help us deal with the level of radiation we're being exposed to today. See, when Dr. Prasad first formulated this, mind you, it has a patent. The green bottle, the original formula, has a patent for DNA repair caused by low-dose ionized radiation. It already has a patent for that, repairing DNA damage, cell damage caused by exposure to radiation. Well, he added 4 more ingredients that help the body to deal with the onslaught of 5G radiation that we're dealing with today. And the company has embraced a standard that no other company dares to embrace. That's the CQF standard. So it's the right combination, the right quantity of ingredients, and the right form. So you can rest assured that these are ingredients that have not been synthesized in a test tube in a laboratory somewhere. These are ingredients that are all naturally sourced. It may cost a tad more, but what's your health worth? And when I say a tad more, we're talking about the original formula is only $53 a bottle. That's still less than $2 a day. To get the kind of results that the woman at the very beginning of our presentation was able to get. And without going into the science too heavy, look on the left side of the screen. You can read this. We'll email it to you. Whoever invited you to this presentation can share this with you. But it all has to do with what you see on the left side of the screen. If you're living healthy, your cells look like that blue, nice, shiny blue cell on the left. If you're doing nothing, then your cells are heading toward the one on the right. That's oxidative stress. That's a cell damaged by oxidative stress and free radical damage. That's what's happening. And if you see something on your outside of your skin, you know those things they call age spots? There's like an affectionate term that they refer to those little spots that are on the skin. Well, there's nothing affectionate about them. If it's on your skin, if it's happening on the inside, it's happening on the outside here, it's happening on the inside. That's oxidized lipids or oxidized fat cells. And if you're dealing with oxidative stress, and by the way, oxidized lipids collect in the brain also. Not a good place to have it. Children's gummy. This is amazing because right now children are being affected. There was a time when they said COVID was, children were impervious to COVID, but for some reason, they're starting to come down with all kinds of strange disease, including heart diseases at even children. Well, this is the top shelf product right here, the Micro Daily EMF. That's the one where Dr. Prasad added the 4 additional ingredients to help the body deal with radiation. We have a CBD boost that's outstanding. This is the methylated form of the product on the left. That's the purple bottle. And if you like putting it in powder, mixing it in a bottle of water, someone said it tastes a little bit like Crystal Light. I don't like to even make that comparison because I think Crystal Light is toxic and deadly. But that's what I heard somebody say. But it does taste good. You mix it in a bottle of water and just drink it down. It's just like the original formula. Dr. Prasad made a brain boost. He made an eye boost. And as I mentioned before, the children's gummies. Now, this page right here is the one that gives you a lot of the science and a lot of the validation behind the product. So you want to linger here a little bit when you get to this part. The other ones tell you a lot about the product, but here you want to linger here for a hot minute. The one that got me, as I mentioned before, is the fact that it has a patent for the treatment of diabetes mellitus. And that's what you see. Look at the center of the page toward the right. The center of the page toward the right. At the very bottom, you see the patent there. And it's for treatment of diabetes. So it caught my attention because I've never seen a natural product that had that kind of ability. And usually when someone is dealing with something like lymphedema, they have other problems, kidney problems and heart problems, and could have blood pressure issues. And very often that's connected to diabetes. So it could be that there's a good reason why the woman at the very beginning had the kind of benefits that she had. But you'll see some of the results of the clinical studies over there on the left side. And again, we're not going to dive into that. We'll ask Jeff a couple of questions about some of those clinical studies here in just a moment. But I wanted to show you this page right here because Dr. Prasad is 87 years old and he's still writing books. And these are just some of the books that he's authored or co-authored. Look on the left side, look toward the bottom, toward the center, and toward the bottom. The center, treating concussions, TBI, PTSD, vitamins against cancer, fight diabetes with vitamins and antioxidants. Below that, fight cancer with supplements, fight Parkinson's and Huntington's, fighting cancer with vitamins and antioxidants, fighting heart disease, fighting Alzheimer's. And the list just goes on and on and on. So this man has been able to make a scientific connection between serious maladies and what we eat or don't eat. The reason why the body would be at ease is because we're properly satisfied. We've eaten what we're supposed to eat. The body is at ease. The body is not at ease if we're not consuming the correct thing, also known as dis-ease, not at ease. So that's how we get sick, is we're not eating the right thing. So don't let anyone kid you. Disease is not just genetic. Disease is not just passed on by environment. Disease is not just passed on by our emotional response. It's very much connected to what we eat or don't eat. Now, all those other things have a factor. They play a role because they can introduce free radicals and oxidative stress into our body. But if you eat the right thing, your body can deal with just about anything. So let's pause here for a couple of minutes. We said that we wanted to hear your stories. We want to hear your stories before we wrap up. So if you have had an experience, personal experience, where you're using one of the products that has been formulated by Dr. Prasad, please tell us about it. I know that Wayne is on, and Wayne says give us a follow-up, Wayne, if you're still here, to your mother-in-law. Wayne's wife, her name is Michi Morris, and Michi has given us a little bit of information about how her mom, who's been dealing with Alzheimer's disease for about 10 years, and after just a couple of days of trying the collagen daily, I didn't even tell you anything about the collagen daily, but after just a couple of days on collagen daily and the brain boost, she said the last thing she told us that mom put together 2 sentences. Mom crawled across the bed and was making up the bed. And that normally doesn't happen with someone who's showing a serious neurological decline connected with Alzheimer's disease. So we told them that, listen, if mom picks up a toothpick and knows what to do with it, we want to hear about it. So Wayne came on the meeting and said, I got an update for you. So please, Wayne Morris, thank you very much for coming on, and please share us any update that you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, much definitely looking forward to. But one of the recent updates is that what she has not been doing, I don't know, for about 3 to 5 years or so, somewhere in the neighborhood, is she would normally, before she would retire, go to bed, she would check her blinds and, open the blinds or close the blind, depending on what time of day it is. And, and then make her bed, what have you. But what she did recently is my wife saw that she had went and crawled, had moved, positioned herself to where the window was, and she closed the blinds up herself, as well as opened the blinds. And then she moved down to the opposite side end of the bed and, proceeded to try and get out of the bed as well. So this is something new, again, that has been added to what she has been doing thus far. And, and my wife just has to catch herself, but she says, she wanted me to share this, that she is grateful and thankful to the Lord for the moments of these, just getting a glimpse of some of the things that she used to do, that she's actually doing some of those things now. By all means, we're not saying, and we're not looking at like thinking that she's going to totally 100%. She's 86 years old, but the power of the fact of her and what she's been taking the collagen and the brain boost is the effect that it has on an 86-year-old woman, and us to be able to witness it and see it ourselves. And
Wow.
so that's the most recent. We thank God for it.
That is just absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, Wayne, for this update. And so how long has she been taking the products? Has it been 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been more about 3 weeks, so a little bit more than 3 weeks now. She's been taking the product. And my wife was saying, because our order had just came in, and I was telling her, and we sent the one order that just came in. We actually sent it. I forwarded it to her brother, who is dealing with pancreatic cancer, and he's in another area of town. So I forwarded it to him. But we were discussing today about our orders and stuff. And I was telling her there was a mix up with the order, but the thing that got me was she said, we can't afford to miss any of it. So no, we're not going to send any of it back. We're going to keep every bit that we can't afford to do that, because there's family members that desperately needed it, and we don't want them to miss out on it. And I'm saying that, and that is the truth, and I believe everybody that comes on is coming on and sharing with integrity. And so I want the listeners to know that this is no put on, no makeup, but it's the truth. And I can only attest to what I know to be true. And as a result of that, yes.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Wayne, for sharing your story, that little snippet with us.
Right. You're welcome.
Kind of amazing. Anyone else that has a story that they'd like to share? Anybody want to just share a story? And if you don't, if you have any questions about MicroDaily, any of the Engage global products. Common question folks say, well, how much is it? That's one of the questions that we hear a lot. And the original formula is, I'm going to round the numbers up a little bit. The original formula is about $53. The methylated formula is about $63. And the EMF formula, the best one, is about $73, a little less. You have to pay for the shipping and the taxes for your area. And the collagen right now is about $60. You just can't beat it. The collagen is amazing. And that's what Wayne's mother-in-law is getting such good results with. So we're excited to hear that. So Mamie Nesmith, you have a question or a story you'd like to share with us, please?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I wanted to share a story with the recent PC that I have. A young man about a week ago, he had some really bad issues. He was rushed to the hospital. They told him that his blood sugar was out of the norm, his heart was in bad trouble, in bad shape, and that his blood pressure had skyrocketed. He told me that he was on his way home from work, and he just went blind. He couldn't see anything. So he called his wife. Long story short, she had to take him to the emergency room. Well, when I heard about it, I called him on Friday to let him know I was so sorry to hear what he was going through, and that I had something that I thought would help him, and I wanted to bring it back to his home if he would, wanted to try it. He said, oh, please, yes, whatever you got, I know if you got it, it's got to be something good. So if you don't mind, please bring it. So my husband and I, we went by and gave him enough MicroDaily, the EMF, and a couple other products, and told him to take it and let me know how it worked out for him, and then we could get some ordered for him. Well, long story short, he called me and he said, you're not going to believe this. He said he works at a restaurant, and he said that his eyes had gotten so bad that he couldn't see when the tickets came up. He couldn't see what was on the tickets. But after just a couple of days on the MicroDaily, he said, I was seeing everything so clearly, and I didn't even need any glasses. So he was so excited about the product, but I missed him. We missed connecting a couple of times. But Sunday, after he texted me while I was on our meeting on Sunday, and I told him, I said, I'll have to call you back. I'm on the meeting, but I'll call you back. So when I called him back, he said, hey, I got to get my products. I have something that I have to do, but can I come by afterwards? And I said, sure. He said, it's gonna be late. I said, that's fine. So at 10:30, my doorbell rang and it was him. When I opened the door, he said, here's my card. I'm ready to order my products. I can't go without my products. So I gave him a little more to last him until it, and I ordered his products yesterday. So he's a happy camper.
Thank you very much. Be nice if you can get him to come on the on the program, maybe, and share his story with us directly, or put me in contact with him so we can at least get him to get a recording of him sharing his story. Okay.
Okay, I will.
All right. Thank you very much. That's pretty amazing. Jeff, you ever get tired of hearing these stories?
Never do, Jonathan. It's just amazing. I love this. This is like that. These are the rewards for the time that we put in, seeing people's lives change. And, I remember a couple years ago when we were out and we met Mamie and her husband just right there in Georgia. So.
Well, she can't stop talking about the product now. She's telling everybody that at 10:30 at night, someone comes by and get with a credit card in hand. That's just mind-boggling. Okay, we have one more question here with Bertha. Bertha, you have a story or a question you want to ask? By the way, folks, any questions are okay. This is your time. If you've got a question about something, this is the time to ask it. We're only going to take another minute or two here. Please, Bertha.
Yes, thank you. Great call, Jonathan. I always enjoy coming on. Also, I do have a question. Is this being recorded?
Yes, it is being recorded.
Okay, great. And I do have a testimony. I've been on the product I did the Dr. Fasad's bundle, and I've been mega dosing on everything, the collagen, the microdaily, the eye, and the brain boost. And when I started, I had blurred vision because my A1C was high, sugars off, high blood pressure. And I was hit by a drunk driver, so I was in an accident. So I have injuries from that in my neck and shoulders. So that could have alleviated my blood pressure. But anyway, I started megadosing on everything. I would take it like after I heard you do 10 of the micro dailies a day, I do 6 during the day, like 4, 2, and 2, however, to get it in. And the collagen, I would do it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and in between sometime. And the brain boost and the eye boost almost every hour on the hour. And today, a couple of days ago, I was looking at my husband. He was a blur. I couldn't see his face. I didn't even tell him I was, I just said, oh my God, I'm losing my sight. And so I really started megadosing. And today I look at him, he's clear as day. I could see my handsome husband again.
Wow.
Things in the house was blurry. I can see it's still a little fuzzy, but not like it was blurry where I had to put on my glasses. I still put on my glasses just so I don't have the eye strain. But for me to look, at things that were totally blurry, even driving, looking at my window, everything is clear again because I can look above my glasses and see that it's clear. And 1 week, I'm just so excited. And I'm just going to continue. And what I do is first thing in the morning, I take my product, I wait an hour, and then I take my meds. I say I'm going to do right. And, let my doctor know I stayed on my medication, but I am doing this product and the other things, the numbness in my feet and the tingling in my legs went away. I almost forgot I had it. And, until I hear the testimony, I was like, oh yeah, I had that, but that went away. The ringing in my ear is off and on, but it's just amazing. And 1 week I got the results with my vision because that was the main thing I was concerned about. So I'm so excited that to be able to see, that it's improving in that short of time.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you very much for sharing that story, Bertha.
Yes.
And just as a reminder for everyone, results are atypical. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. And we all read the disclaimer that Jeff shared earlier. these comments have not been evaluated by the FDA. So Engage Global, we're not making any claims that these products or treatments are cure for disease, but you judge for yourself whether or not Bertha, Mamie Mathis and her client, and Wayne and his mother-in-law, if they're not being paid to say any of these things, they're just sharing their stories and sharing with us their observations and their personal experiences with this. So Bertha, thank you so much again for sharing that. Now folks, we do also encourage you, make sure you drink plenty of water when you're taking the product, because toxins in the body are going to now want to get out. So you help them find a pathway out. And when they're dumping into the lymphatic system, let me look at the first story. What was the woman's name at the very beginning, Jeff?
Janice. Janice.
So Janice's story is a dramatic example of the lymphatic system going explosive. That's what's happening to toxins in the body. They're being dumped into the lymphatic system, and it's being told, get out now. So if you drink water, you're giving those toxins a pathway out. If you don't drink water, the toxins will tend to find their way to your weakest part of your body. So they'll end up someplace that you don't want them to end up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And the right amount of water is half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you need to drink 75 ounces of water a day. So just take the number, cut it in half, that many ounces. So 150-pound person needs to drink 75 ounces of water per day. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That's our brief discussion for today. We're encouraging you to get back with the person who invited you to this discussion tonight, and they will help you set up a personal subscription where you can get 25% discount on the product. And now is the best time to do that. And before this month is over with, you will want to add Collagen Daily to your subscription. You want to make sure that you do that, because the price is going to go up. For anyone who doesn't put that order in by July 31st, that is adding it to your subscription, then the price will go up on August the 1st by $5. But if you get it in this month, you get to keep that price all the way to the end of the year. So even inflation won't affect you to the end of the year. So you want to make sure you lock that in. So add it to your subscription and share that information with everybody. Tell everybody, add one of these to their subscription. And even if they just want it to come next month, add it to the subscription this month. I encourage you to start on it right now. If you can. My wife and I, my mother-in-law, my sister-in-laws, we're all taking this. I've got about 10 bottles here at the house, and I know that somehow the pile keeps going down. So I know that in that kitchen over there, they're all sucking it down. I got to get back home just to keep my own collagen daily. Get back to Florida. Can't hardly afford to be up here. My goodness. Okay, well, before we wrap up, Adelina has a comment she wants to share with us. Please, Adelina, you got the last word on this.
Hi, I had a quick question.
Please.
How can I get the booklets that you showed at the beginning?
No problem. I can email it to you. And if you want a hard copy of it, just call the company and they will send it to you. There's a cost to them, Jeff. They're like $4 or $5.
It's actually 10 of them for $12. So it's just a little over $1 a piece.
There you go.
And I wanted to say that I started on the collagen, and it makes me move. It's like it's waking up my body. I'm usually with fibromyalgia, I'm usually really sluggish, slow. It hurts to move at all, but it's waking me up. I stayed up the other night. I was sweeping. I never am able to sweep. I was doing some cleaning. It's very difficult for me to do anything physical. So I'm loving it.
Excellent. Excellent. That's good to hear. She saves that for the, oh, by the way, one other little thing here. My fibromyalgia is responding well to the Collagen Daily. So, all right. But thank you very much, Adelina, for sharing that additional piece of information with us. Okay. So listen, folks, this coming Thursday evening, if you know someone who needed to hear a presentation like this, you can invite them to come back. All the codes will stay the same, 6 o'clock Eastern time. So Tuesdays at 7:30, Sunday will be at 6 o'clock. Same codes, same everything, nothing will change. And then on Sunday, special treat, Jeff is going to be is going to be hosting our program on Sunday. And he's got a doozy of a story to share with you this coming Sunday. So you want to make sure you have everybody there on Sunday. We just need another attendance record, break another attendance record for Sunday. Invite everyone that you know to be there this coming Thursday and on Sunday. Okay. All right, folks. Jeff, am I forgetting anything?
No, just you misspoke yourself briefly. It's Thursday at 6, Sunday at 5.
Okay, good.
So way to go.
Thank you. I need another brain boost here. So let me just.
Well, I shut my camera off because I had to grab a couple of children's gummies.
Mine right now. Okay, everybody. Good night, everybody. It's been a long day. Thank you very much, Jeff, again. And thank you, everyone, for your stories.
That's true. All right.
I love it.
Pretty amazing.
Yes, it is. Come on, camera. Good night, everybody.
Good night.